Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Straight Up Real Talk, episode number 4. This is your host once again. Hey, you know what? Normally I come on here, I rant, I rave, and all this other stuff, and I give it to you straight up and real. But today, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to talk about something that's very important and very straightforward. And sexual assault, or sexual in general. It saddens me that in today's society, it's okay to sexually harass people. It saddens me that in today's society, that when a male has sexual violence committed against him, no one wants to believe him. They use excuses such as, oh, you wanted it, oh, dude, why you bitching, that's every guy's dream, and stuff like that. And then, when they talk about it, they get put down. When they bring it forth to the cops, they get told they're lying, or that they're just trying to make up a story for revenge purposes, or to suck it up and deal with it. Because men are supposed to be this macho force that can deal with anything and everything. I'm not going to separate it based on gender, though. Although I will say that is one of the reasons why I'm a feminist. Is I do want that equality for guys. I want investigations being done on these crimes that are committed to guys that, if it was done to a woman, they have whole departments in the police department that are in charge of that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that if it's done to a woman it's less, because it's not. It's not right done to either or any gender whatsoever. It's not. It's something that violates a person, and sometimes it's not always clear and present. I had a conversation with a friend, or at least someone that I thought was a friend, but I'm not too sure now because his morals are to be desired. And when I have a friend like that, it makes me question my friendship with them, because I really don't like aligning my people, or aligning myself with people like that. But anyways, he turned around today and he told me that he was getting yelled at by someone because this girl had told him that she didn't like him greeting her by kissing her cheeks or her hand. It's something that that he's done numerous times. And there's some people that are okay with it, and there's some people that aren't. But the point is when you're asked to stop, you need to stop. Once a person tells you, look, I'm not comfortable with this, you need to stop. That's what you need to do. Otherwise, it becomes sexual harassment, if not sexual assault, depending on the situation. This guy made the comment to me that he felt it was okay to continue because this girl kept greeting him, saying hi to him, and showed interest. Just because you show interest in someone does not give you the right to force yourself upon them, to kiss them without their permission. It all comes down to consent. If you do not have the consent to do something to someone, you cannot do it. It is sexual harassment. It's sexual assault. It is rape. There are so many other names out there for this. And yet we live in a society where people feel it's okay to do this. The biggest example I can think of is the whole Sandpepper thing. I know I said I was never going to go into Sandpepper, but I have to, because it is a great example. Some of his pranks out there, like handcuffing himself to women and saying, oh, I'll release you if you kiss me. or forcing your lips upon them, or pinching their asses, or even other things like that. They're wrong. Wrong. It's against the law. And people like that should not be allowed to be on YouTube. People like that should not be able to reach millions of people and showing them, hey, this is all in fun. No, it's not in fun. It's not a prank. It's not funny. I cannot express enough how wrong it is to do stuff like that. You're violating another human being when you do stuff like that. Even just a simple, when you hug them and you grab their ass, that is sexual harassment. Do people not understand this? And why is it so hard to understand? I wish that we lived in a society where people understand that consent is key. No, I'm not saying that before we have sex, we have to sit there and say, hey, can we go have sex now? But as things progress, watch for the body language, watch for the reaction, watch for the enthusiasm of it. Don't just assume that it's okay. Don't just assume because you get to kiss someone that you get to turn around and grab their ass or grab their boobs or grab their dick. It's not okay to force yourself on someone else. It's not funny. It's not a prank. It can do so much damage to that person. And you know what? Just because they say, yeah, okay, I guess, does not mean that they're saying yes. It means that they are scared. They are worried. They don't want to offend you. They don't want to turn you down for whatever reason. But it is not a yes. And if someone turns around and says that to you, okay, I guess, then you should stop what you're doing and have a conversation. Be a human being and not a predator. Take into consideration other people's feelings and not your own. I cannot believe that people feel that just because a woman greets them, it gives you the right to be all over them. I cannot believe they feel just because a guy happens to be nice, it gives you the right to stick your ass up against him and grind. I was raised to have manners. I was raised to understand the word no. And maybe that's the problem with this society, is maybe not the people, but the way they're raised. It seems more and more people are not being raised with manners, with the understanding of no. More and more, our laws are to protect the kids, but at the same time, how are they learning what real life is and what's okay and what's not if everything they do is excused? Oh, that's not my kid. Oh, my kid wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's the same kid that 3, 4, 5 years later is being charged with sexual harassment or sexual assault or rape because you didn't take it seriously. Sexual harassment, any sexual violence whatsoever, is not something that should be brushed off as, oh man, you wanted it, stop bitching, or oh, you're lying, or oh, no, he couldn't do that, she couldn't do that, because whether you believe it or not, a woman can be a rapist. Alcohol, drugs, all these things are the gateway to sexual violence. If someone is so drunk that they can barely talk, barely walk, they don't have the right to consent to anything unless they told you about it before they got that drunk. If someone's so high that they can barely talk, then they don't have the right to consent. And just because they're doing something illegal by getting high, depending on where you are, because there are some places that pot is legal. But depending on where you are, just because they're doing something illegal doesn't give you the right to violate them. We need to start making a stand. We need to start making it known that it is not okay to violate consent. It is not okay to say, oh, that's just how men are. We're not in a rape culture, people. And if you want that kind of culture, then I'm sick by that. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that there's people out there that could possibly want that culture. All the people that I can think of that would want that are rapists. People that can't or won't get things the way it should be, and instead have to force themselves upon people. There should be no room for those kind of people in our society. And we need to make a stand. We need to stand up and say, enough is enough. This needs to stop. And the best way we can do that, the best thing that we can start out with, is making Sam Pepper atone for what he has done. And I pray daily that he does have to. I pray that these people that have come forward with the sexual harassment suits, or not suits, but complaints, and even the one that's anonymous that complained about or said that she was anally raped by him, I pray that they go forward and press charges. There's nothing to lose. The guy's pretty much lost his career. The sponsors have dropped him. So why wait? Why sit in silence? I don't even know what to tell you guys to do in the comments right now. Because, honestly, there's no... Here we go. Put down in the comments whether or not you think I'm correct in this. Put down in the comments whether or not you think it's okay to be extra handsy or grabby or whatever you want to call it. In the meantime, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe, because there'll be more straight up real talk coming at you. And for that, that's it for this episode. Let me salute you. And let me say, for anyone that has been ever sexually harassed, assaulted, you have my permission to contact me by any means necessary. I am there for you. And I will always be there for you guys. And let me say, it does get better. I promise you. Just hang in tough. And until next time, keep it real.